Ever wondered why your pizza is always round or why manhole covers are circular? Circles, one of the most common shapes we encounter in our daily lives, are everywhere. Yes, our beloved pizzas come in this shape, and for a good reason. The circular shape ensures the heat is evenly distributed when cooking, so every slice gets just the right amount of warmth. Now that's a tasty application of circles. But it doesn't stop at pizzas. Consider manhole covers. Ever wondered why they're round? It's because a circular manhole cover can't fall through its circular opening. No matter how you position it, it's always wider than the hole. This is a great example of how the properties of circles can be used to ensure safety. Coins are another everyday example of circles. The round shape makes them easy to handle and less likely to cause injury with sharp edges. Plus, it's easier to create a mold for a circular coin. You just need a single axis of rotation. And how about wheels? The circular shape is the most efficient for rolling motion, reducing friction and making our journeys smoother and faster. Whether it's a bicycle, a car, or a cart, the wheels are always round, thanks to the properties of circles. Let's think about the plates we use to eat our meals. The circular shape of a plate is aesthetically pleasing, yes, but it also allows for an even distribution of food and makes it easier to clean. Each of these examples demonstrates how the unique properties of circles, their symmetry, their simplicity, and their efficiency, make them an ideal choice for a wide range of objects we use daily. The circular shape is not just a random choice, it's a choice that makes our lives easier, safer, and more efficient. So the next time you bite into a perfectly cooked slice of pizza, or toss a coin, or ride a bicycle, remember the humble circle. It's not just a shape, it's a fundamental part of our everyday lives. Understanding the properties of circles helps us appreciate their uses and their importance in our everyday life. To grasp the concepts of area and circumference, we first need to understand the basics of a circle. And in the realm of circles, three terms reign supreme: the radius, the diameter, and the circumference. Let's start with the radius. Simply put, the radius of a circle is the distance from its center to its edge. Imagine you're standing at the very heart of a circle. The radius is the straight line distance you'd need to walk to reach the circle's edge. Next up, we have the diameter. If the radius is the journey from the center to the edge, then the diameter is a grand adventure right across the circle, passing through the center. In essence, the diameter is twice the length of the radius. And lastly, we have the circumference. The circumference of a circle is like its outer border, or its perimeter, if you will. If you were to take a leisurely stroll around the edge of the circle, the distance you'd cover would be the circumference. Now, these three terms don't exist in isolation. They're intricately connected. For instance, if you know the radius of a circle, you can easily calculate its diameter by simply doubling the radius. Similarly, if you have the diameter, you can find the radius by halving the diameter. The circumference, on the other hand, is a little more involved. It's related to the diameter through a magical number known as pi, which is approximately 3.14. So to find the circumference of a circle, you multiply the diameter by pi. In summary, the radius, diameter, and circumference are the fundamental elements of a circle, each one connected to the others in a delicate dance of geometry. These relationships form the basis for understanding more complex topics like the area and circumference of a circle. Knowing what a radius, diameter, and circumference are sets the foundation for understanding the area and circumference of a circle. Now that we know the basics, it's time to dive into the circumference of a circle. Imagine you're a tiny ant, embarking on a journey around the edge of a circular lily pad. The path you'd tread, that's what we call the circumference. In simpler terms, the circumference of a circle is the distance around the circle, like the boundary of a soccer field or the edge of a pizza. Now, how do we calculate this distance? Well, that's where our friends pi and the radius or diameter of the circle come into the picture. Pi, denoted by the Greek letter pi, is a mathematical constant that's approximately equal to 3.14. It's the ratio of the circumference of any circle to its diameter. Fascinating, isn't it? Now let's talk about the formula. There are actually two formulas to calculate the circumference. The first one is circumference equals 2 times pi times radius, often written as c equals 2pr. The second one is circumference equals pi times diameter, often written as c equals pd. Let's bring these formulas to life with an example. Suppose we have a circle with a radius of 3 units. Using the first formula, we multiply 2 pi and 3 to get an approximate circumference of 18.84 units. But what if we only know the diameter? No problem at all. If the diameter of a circle is 6 units, we simply multiply pi and 6 using the second formula. And voila! We again get a circumference of approximately 18.84 units. So, whether you know the radius or the diameter, you can always find the circumference of a circle. And remember, these formulas aren't just abstract concepts. They're tools you can use to solve real-world problems, like finding out how much fencing you'd need to enclose a circular garden, or how much wire you'd need to make a circular bracelet. Remember, the circumference of a circle is simply the distance around the circle. Now that we've tackled the circumference, let's move on to understanding the area of a circle. The concept of area is one that is often seen in our daily lives. Imagine you're laying down tiles on a floor, painting a wall, or even making a pizza. In all these situations, you'd want to know how much space you're covering, or in other words, the area. When it comes to circles though, the calculation becomes a bit more unique. The area of a circle is essentially the number of square units that can fit inside it. It's like filling a round pizza with tiny square slices of cheese. The more slices you can fit, the larger the area of your pizza, or in our case, the circle. So, how do we calculate this? The formula for the area of a circle is quite simple and elegant. Area equals pi times the radius squared, often written as area equals sine PR2. Let's break this down. Pi, represented by the Greek letter pi, is a mathematical constant that is approximately equal to 3.14. The radius, as we've previously discussed, is the distance from the center of the circle to its edge. When we say radius squared, we mean the radius times itself. For example, if we have a circle with a radius of 4 units, we'd calculate the area by squaring the radius, giving us 16, and then multiplying it by pi. This gives us an approximate area of 50.26 square units. And there you have it. The area of a circle is not as complex as it might seem at first glance. It's all about understanding the formula and applying it correctly. So next time you're laying tiles or making pizza, remember the concept of area and the formula PR2. It's more than just a mathematical equation. It's a tool for understanding and interacting with the world around us. So, the area of a circle is the number of square units that can fit inside it. Let's take a moment to summarize what we've learned about circles. We've delved deep into this fascinating shape and uncovered some of its fundamental truths. Firstly, we touched on the basics of circles, the terms that we use when we talk about them. The radius, that's the line drawn from the center of the circle to any point on its edge. Then, there's the diameter, which is simply twice the radius, stretching all the way across the circle, passing through the center. We then ventured into the circumference of a circle. Remember, the circumference is the total distance around the edge of the circle. It's like the boundary that separates the circle from the rest of the world. It's calculated by multiplying the diameter of the circle by that magical number known as pi, approximately 3.14. From there, we explored the area of a circle. This is the total space enclosed by the circle. Imagine you're a tiny ant walking around inside the circle. The area is all the space you have to roam around. To calculate the area, we take the radius, square it, and then multiply by pi. So, to put it all together, we have two important formulas to remember. For the circumference, we have circumference equals pi times diameter. And for the area, it's area equals pi times radius squared. These formulas are your keys to unlocking the secrets of any circle you encounter. It's quite a journey we've taken, isn't it? From understanding the basics of circles to unraveling the mysteries of their area and circumference. But remember, like any journey, it's not just about the destination, it's about what you learn along the way. Understanding the area and circumference of a circle can be a piece of cake or a slice of pizza, if you remember these key points.